Faith Eckstein is here. Her son Christian is here with us, and she's a pilot. And now this story has a very happy ending. He's doing very well, but boy, it wasn't that way in the beginning. You're a pilot, and you were so far out from your pregnancy. You were not expecting a premature pregnancy. You were flying. Tell us about that story.
Yes, I was on a trip, and at the end of a 3-day trip, I was flying from Pittsburgh to Charlotte and scheduled to go to Jamaica. And I wasn't feeling very well, so I took myself off the trip sick because during that Jamaica trip, Isaac was getting ready to hit the hurricane.
Oh, okay.
So I started having contractions. By the time I got home from Charlotte, my contractions were 3 minutes apart.
Oh, wow.
So I drove myself from the Pittsburgh airport to St. Elizabeth's, and 9 hours later, I delivered Christian.
Wow, and it had to be scary along that journey. Tell us what some complications and things that happened.
Well, it was pretty scary because I was the last person to board the flight to get here. They had a very full flight from Charlotte to Pittsburgh, and I was what's called a non-revving person, so I was a very low priority. I actually had to sit in the cockpit, which is how I timed my contractions, was off the clock in the cockpit dash. And I had 3 other guys up there, and all I kept on thinking was, oh boy, if they have to divert the flight for me. So that would have been bad.
And tell us about just the treatment at the hospital.
Oh, well, they were so nice. I had actually called my obstetrician, and she's like, go directly to the emergency room. And they were really good. The lady actually wheeled me in a wheelchair from the parking lot, and they took me up to the maternity ward, and they were really good about making sure that I got in very rapidly, so that was nice.
And you had to feel relief after this was all said and done.
Relief until it was only relief. Yes, finally when he was born, it was very relieving. However, we were so concerned for him because he was so sick. We had no idea he was what's called an undiagnosed transposition baby, and which basically means that his heart was pumping dirty blood throughout his body. He had no way of getting oxygen to his body. So no matter what type of oxygen they put on him, it didn't matter. And so he had to be life flighted that night for them to Akron Children's Maine for them to do what's called a heart cath, where they put a hole back into his heart to get more oxygen. His oxygen levels were actually down around 38%.
Now, I can ask people to make a donation, but I'm going to ask you to do it. Why?
Oh, because they work miracles here. If it weren't for them and their expeditious diagnosis of our son, there is no way he would have made it.
See, that is why we need your help. 888-746-9890. And if you call right now, all gifts will be matched up to $500. So your money goes twice, maybe even 3 times as far if you're a miracle maker. 888-746-9890.